Yeah, I don't have it up here yet.
Okay. No, I noticed it just there, because I'm remembering a picture you posted. It was lovely.
Good evening. We'll call to order the Stephenville Town Council meeting agenda for Thursday, December 11th, 2025. Janelle, would you please take the roll call?
Councilmember Bragg. Here. Councilmember Barker. Here. Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Councilmember Smith.
Here.
Mayor Michelson.
Here. Will you all please stand for the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 3, public comments on anything not on the agenda tonight. Not on the agenda. It's your last chance, Sue.
Okay. Okay. Sue Dell, 3056 6th Street. By the way, the wind just devastated my whole front yard yesterday. It was awful. Anyway, I wondered and noticed that on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, Town Hall was closed. And Town Hall was closed, or at least the office was closed. And then I'm wondering, are you planning to do the same thing over Christmas weekend?
I have no plans to at this time.
Okay, and followed with one more question. I know the office staff had that time off. Did the rest of the town employees have all that time off?
No, some of them worked. I left it up to
Okay.
them.
Okay,
And some of them have to be down there by law anyway.
Okay.
Go ahead. Jean.
yeah, all I saw was a little note on the door.
So are you asking whether they had time to take off, or are you asking that they just took off?
I'm just asking that the office was closed.
Yes.
There was no notice that the office was closed beforehand, except a little note on the door. So I'm asking, because I needed to come in here for something, I'm just asking if the same thing is going to occur over Christmas.
Yeah, and like he said, but the Friday after Thanksgiving is in our personnel policy to be closed. So that one's always considered one of our closed holidays.
Again, but the town wasn't notified, as far as I know,
We
so.
put up on the door on the Monday before. We always try to do this early as possible, but if you.
Okay, I was just wondering. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
Okay, that's the last one, Bob.
Ah, dang, I'm gonna miss you.
I doubt it.
Any other public comments on anything not on the agenda?
Darn, I don't know. I can't think of anything right now.
Seeing none, we'll move on to the approval of minutes. Item A, special town council meeting minutes, closed session, 11/13/2025. Can I get a motion, please? Councilmember Barker.
I make a motion to approve special town council meeting minutes, closed session 11/13/2025.
We have a motion by Councilmember Barker. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second by Councilmember Smith. Although it's closed for discussion. Public cannot weigh in on it. Janelle, would you please take the vote?
Councilmember Bragg.
Aye.
Councilmember Barker.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
And Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Moving on to item number B, town council meeting minutes, 11/13/25. Can I get a motion, please? Councilmember Barker.
I make a motion to approve town council meeting minutes from 11/13/2025.
We have a motion by Councilmember Barker. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second by Councilmember Smith. We have a discussion from the council on the minutes from 11/13/25. Councilmember Brown.
I found a mistake on this page 5 of the agenda package. Towards the end, Mayor Michelson, I think that we are still working on putting on the taxes. Lien is misspelled.
Is that it, Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments from the council before I turn it over? Seeing none, are any comments from the public on the minutes from 11:13? Seeing none, Janelle, would you please take the vote?
Councilmember Bragg, Councilmember Barker,
Aye.
Councilmember Brown, Councilmember Smith,
Aye.
and that's it, sorry.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Moving on to item number 5, approval of biweekly claims. A, out-of-cycle claims, 11/27/2025, items number 20043 to 20075. Can I get a motion, please? Councilmember Smith.
I move that we consider out-of-cycle claims for 11/27/25, 20043 to 20075.
We have a motion by Councilmember Smith. Councilmember Barker.
Second the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second by Councilmember Barker. Do we have a discussion from the council? Councilmember Brown.
Claim number 20059, the George May property. Isn't that one of them that I looked up by the geocode last time and suggested that we work on that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Okay.
20059.
Yes. What was the question? I'm sorry.
I thought I looked that geocode up before, and I'm not sure because I didn't have time to look it up again. But I thought we were going to work with the attorney to get that figured out. Why we're getting billed on that?
Nothing more.
Hmm.
I mean, we've been paying this all along, so I don't know. Did you say quit claim deed? We've been paying for years. So we've been paying it for years, so I'm not sure, but who did we quit claim deed it to?
Well, it was just on a little strip up by the school that we don't have clear title to. And that, I suggest that we get it taken care of through the attorney with the proper paperwork if we're going to pay taxes on it.
Did you submit that to Greg for that? Did you bring that up to?
No, I just brought it up in a council meeting. I'll look it back up again.
Any other claims, council? Okay, turn it over to public. Any comments from the public on the claims? Seeing none, Janelle, would you please take the vote?
Councilmember Bragg,
Aye.
Councilmember Barker,
Aye.
Councilmember Brown,
I
Councilmember Smith.
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0. Moving on to item number B, claims number 20076 to 20096. Can I get a motion, please? Councilmember Smith.
I move that the council consider claims 20076 to 20096.
Councilmember Smith, do we have a second? Councilmember
Second
Barker.
the motion.
We have a motion, I have a councilmember, second by Councilmember Barker. We have a discussion from the council on the second set of claims. Councilmember Barker.
Can you just give a line on claim 20079 for Glenn Ice on how close are we getting to Stephen being able to get his certification so that we're not paying Glenn for that position anymore? Yeah.
So there is a conference in Billings in March. And, so I don't know if Stephen and Cody are still working on getting their water certification. But until they do, we cannot let Greg let it go.
Okay.
Councilor Good on that, Councilmember Parker.
Under the credit card claims, for $833.98 for Best Buy. What is that?
So that is for the, I'm sorry, were you finished?
Pardon me?
Were you finished with the
Yeah.
question? Okay, so the top book we had to read water meters is no longer supported, and it doesn't cap Windows 11, so it was a security risk, so we had to get a new computer for reading the meters, and Brenda talked to Ford and Main. That was the cheapest option that we could get, because if we got another top book, it was like $2,600. So Ford and Main said you can just get this laptop, and it will read the old meters as well as the new cellular meters. So it was a better route. It was on the list to be replaced this year, from First Call. There's several of them out there, actually.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the council on the claims? Seeing none? Any comments from the public on the claims? Seeing none, Janelle, would you please take the vote?
Councilmember Bragg? Aye. Councilmember Barker?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown? And Councilmember Smith?
Aye. Motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Moving on to administrative reports. Item number 8, airport. Mr. Bryan.
Okay. Pretty short report. We had a number of runway lamps that burned out for some reason over the last 45 days, 8 in total actually. So it was pretty unusual. Normally we can go months without a single light burning out. So to have 8 burn out in 1 month and a half was a little strange, but they're all replaced. And then one of the lamps in the beacon burned out, and that was just, I think, coincidental, but it was a 9-year-old lamp, so it was certainly due. So those have all been replaced at this point. We ordered another 8 replacement lamps, just so we have some on hand. And then there were 2 taxi lights that we had to order, basically replacement head assemblies for, because they were too damaged to repair. There was actually 3. One of them we had enough parts to kind of piece it back together and repair it, but we just didn't have enough parts to repair it. So those taxi lamps have arrived. I just need to pick them up and go and install them now. Let's see. So that's it on the maintenance side. On capital improvement projects, the contractor for the fuel tank, he had originally planned to mobilize this month in December to start his foundation work for the tank. He's elected to not mobilize till next month. Doesn't really hurt us because the tank is kind of the critical path to this thing right now. And he only has about 3 weeks worth of work ahead of that tank arriving. So he'll start right after the first of the year. Tank is at the last update, the tank is scheduled to arrive in late February. I'm a little skeptical that that's actually going to happen based upon when it was ordered. They had been preaching about 16-week lead times, which would put us closer to like late March from the time that the submittal was ordered. But that's what they're saying. We'll get some final dates here within the next week or so. But right now, they're telling us still late February. So we'll see if that shifts, but my guess is that it will. And then fuel, November saw a large decrease in sales volume, kind of as we had discussed and it was expected, largely due to the weather. The weather's been just so poor lately, not many people trying to fly through that. And I don't see don't see much of a change in the weather going forward here. But anyway, total sales volume was 192 gallons or $1,098. So pretty low sales volume for March. I think December is probably going to be about the same. Kind of March, December, and January are kind of the quietest months from what we've been able to see from the past. 192 gallons. Heck, we had single days over the summer that exceeded 192 gallons. So definitely low sales volume for the next couple months here, and then expect it to start picking up. But if we get some good weather, maybe we'll see some good volume again. Anyways, that's all I have.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Moving on to the building department, that's in your name, finance, item number C, Gina.
All right, we'll start off with the cash report, and everything looks really good, right now. There's nothing of concern at all with that. It actually looks really good. Do you guys have any questions on the cash report? All right, so let's go to the expenditure versus budget on the general fund. God, I'm pleased to announce that, right now, as of December, we've only spent 41% of the budget, which is really, really good. So, people are really taking care of business, as far as the general fund goes, as well as the other funds too. So, do you guys have any questions on the general budget? As far as the other funds, everything looks really good. If you look at, I don't know if there's anything to look at. 23% has been spent of the budget out of water, 26% out of the sewer. I think everything is looking really good there too. So do you guys have any questions on the other funds?
Just the airport.
So the airport, yes, so they've got 66% on that. What's happened with the airport is we did get a, from our auditor, so they decided to audit all of the leases for the airport, and that was an additional charge of $4,000, which we did not expect. And so that was part of the cost on that. Next year, they're going to continue to audit the airport leases. However, it will just be looking at the new leases that we have and not the overall leases. And the reason they did that was for depreciation purposes. So, to look at all the airport leases. Do you have any questions? Any more questions about that?
Well, thank you.
All right, the statement of revenue, we're getting all the revenue that we're kind of expecting. Nothing is really out of place as far as that goes. Everything looks really good, and I have to say that the town of Stevensville's financial status is in a really good standing and has been for quite some time. So do you guys have any questions?
Thanks, Gina. You on the fire department, Jeff?
Right, so the monthly report is in your packet. There are 658 requests for service as of the end of November. Again, you'll note that the motor vehicle crashes is up to 15 in the month of November. Again, those are reflecting all the vehicle versus deer hits. Obviously, we're very aware of that. We do have a lot of vehicle versus deer hits in this general area. So those numbers will continue to increase as we continue to dispatches to those vehicle versus deer hits with no injury, no blockage, until we get that resolved. So at the end of the 758 requests for service, we were at 704 for the whole year last year. So we'll add another month onto that, probably another 60 or so requests. So we're going to be back up around that 700-ish, maybe a little bit more type number for requests for service for the year. So all in all, it's kind of shaping out to be pretty much the same type of busy years as we have had in the past. Yeah, we're seeing way more medical stuff now, but we have an aging population and it's just kind of nature of business. So one thing that I did find a little bit, I don't know, just interesting would be the fire calls, total year-to-date fire calls. Seems to be up from years past, but it happens. I mean, as older buildings become older and things happen there and we renew and rebuild and do stuff like that. So that's not a huge shock, but kind of interesting to look at that and see what's going on there. We did the Parade lights, we did the sandwich lights all up and running. So it all looked up good. The parade came out nice, even though we had inclement weather. We're better than Libby right now. But Anyway, any questions for the fire? Oh yeah, also, we are coming close to getting ready to submit an order for the radio grant. And that'll be coming, well, it won't be till January now, but that'll be coming up in January when those go out. And then we'll have a grant match, 5% grant match that will come due. 5% of I guess $68,000 some dollars. $3,400 or some. So other than that, we're doing pretty good.
Question.
Yeah.
Was there a fire truck that you guys were swapping out with somebody else with a fire company somewhere?
Yes.
Okay, is that already transitioned yet?
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll see later on in the packet, we're gonna ask to surplus the old 2050, the old ladder that we had. We were the recipient of the gift of the new to us ladder from Corvallis Fire. So we have taken delivery on that. At no expense so far other than licensing and insurance to the town on that apparatus. So it is here. It is 10 years newer than the one that we are surplusing out. Another benefit, however you want to look at it, that the truck that we got from Corvallis does not have a pump on it. So you have to supply it with another apparatus, which then put back into our inventory, if you will, all the hose, all the equipment off of the old ladder that we're surplusing. So we gained back, 600 feet of hose, inch and 3/4 hose that we don't need to buy. We put that back into inventory. And nozzles went back into inventory because we're not supplying water disbursement equipment to this truck that we have now. So will it be able to do the same job? Technically, no, because you don't have hand lines off it. You do have an elevated master stream, which is the critical piece to that apparatus. So we do have those capabilities, even greater than what we've had before. So that's a bonus to do that. Another bonus is we now do not do annual pump maintenance testing on the new truck, which we've always annually done before. So there's a little bit of a cost savings there back to the town, back to the fleet. As far as ISO and those types of things go, how that affects the town, there's no effect on the town. We stay the same in our ISO rating, staying the same in our capabilities. We were going to be looking at some pretty significant investment back into the old truck. It needed some work to be done to get it up and running and keep it up and maintained. So those expenses have now gone aside because we don't have those on this new piece of equipment. So all in all, it was a benefit to the town. And it was also a benefit to Corvallis because their piece of equipment that they were trying to get surplus out, and they did surplus out. Now, if they need it, we'll respond it back to them. And so it's a win for the whole community, basically up and down the valley, because that puts one more elevated master stream back in service or continued in service in the valley. So that is a win for the whole valley, actually. So all in all, it was a great move. The price was right. If the price wasn't right, we would not have done it. But the price was right. Hard to beat, free. So yeah, we're very fortunate that way.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Moving on to item number E, Police Department. Chief Bull, a little under the weather. He had a long trip. He called me and wanted to know if I would read his police report. I think you have that in front of you. Calls for service in November, 82. Arrest adult, UV, 0. Traffic citation, 6. Traffic stops, 18. Traffic accidents, 4. Vehicle towed, 0. Homicide, 0. Robbery, 0. Burglary, 0. Thefts, 5. Assaults or PFMA, 0. Sex crimes, 0. Fraud crimes, 4. Criminal incidents, 0. Privacy communication, 0. Intimidation, 0. Suspicious activity, 2. Disturbance, 1. Unattended deaths, 0. Welfare check, 0. Lost and found property, 3. Burglar alarms, 911 hangups, 6, and victim notifications, 0. That is your police report. Moving on to item number F, Public Works. Steve is under the weather. He called, he's got a sour tummy, so he's out there. Moving on to item number 7, new business, discussion decision, approval of updated planning and zoning bylaws. So Angela's been working hard in planning and zoning, they're sitting in the back. And they would like to get the bylaws approved by the council tonight. So with that, could I get a motion? Councilmember Barker.
I make a motion to approve the updated planning and zoning bylaws.
I have a motion by Councilmember Barker. Do we have a second? Councilmember Bragg.
My second?
We have a motion. We have a second by Councilmember Bragg. Do we have a discussion from the council? Councilmember.
Okay, page 63 under B5, it says 2 members who are resident freeholders within the extended zoning jurisdiction of town. Is there any way we could describe that extended district so people know the extended district? Because I don't know how many people know what the extended district is. Just a thought.
It's specified in the ordinance.
I think it's the strip south of town for a mile, 500 feet on each side, but I'm not positive. So that's why I was wondering if we should specify what the extended district is. Just a thought.
Councilmember Barker.
Was this in the original bylaws on that it was just never clarified before?
No, it wasn't in that, you mean in our packet? No, it wasn't in
They're
that.
both in there, the original and then the ones in your packet.
On the old, it wasn't stated either, but I don't know how many people know what the extended district is. Just a thought. On page 64, under section 2, the annual election meeting which shall be held at the election meeting. Should that be at the meeting in January or in that its second election should be striked out? Just
Section 2.
section 2 under officers, under article 2. It says annual election meeting which shall be held at the election meeting in January.
Well, I think it's just redundant, but it's just saying that the nomination of officers will be made at the annual election meeting, which shall be held at that. I mean, it's just redundant, but I can update it, it's no problem, I could just strike that.
And then article 2, officers under section 5, chair at the conferred by Parliament. It says be Parliament, should be by, I think.
Where's that one?
Page 64, section 5, under article 2, chair, second to the last sentence, all the duties normally conferred be Parliament usage. By, maybe is supposed to be in there, I don't know. I'm not a word person, so.
Just a title.
I'm not a word person, so. Page 65, under Article 3, meetings, Section 1, regular meetings, time and place. At a reasonable time in town hall. Can we set a time so people know what time the planning and zoning is? I mean, a reasonable time to me is anything after 6 o'clock to me, but that, I mean, that might not be for everybody else.
I think the reason that was put there, and if I remember right, back when Gibson was on there, is because before that, different mayors and that were putting different times on planning and zoning meetings. And every time they could change the time, then,
It conflicted with the bylaw.
yes. That's why they just put reasonable in there, because some meetings are 5, some meetings are 6:30, and as you know, as when we were doing the, growth, those meetings were at 5:30. You have to work around the schedule of the board members. I think that's why the reasonable was put in there.
Yes, reasonable according to the members of the board
Yes.
time.
Page 66 is of meetings. I kicked up something on an Attorney General opinion, 47, number 13, that they should be 48-hour notice.
Which section is this?
Okay, I'm sorry, Article 3 meetings, Section 4 notice of meetings,
Okay.
48-hour notice. I think that's,
It says 2 days, isn't that the same thing or no?
Yeah.
Unless it's a special board meeting, Mayor, we almost always post within the same time limit as the.
Council rules state all special meetings, no matter what they are, have to require a 48-hour notice. Correct.
so I was just wondering if we should have put 48 hours in there. That was on page 66. Under that same section 6, planning and zoning board members are permitted to. It says members permitted, maybe there's supposed to be an R in there.
Yeah. Going back to the special meetings, it says in section 3 that they have at least 2 days in advance notice, so it seems redundant to add it to section 4.
Well, I just kicked out the Attorney General, so, you know, I think if we're going to be consistent, 48 hours.
So you said you just wanted to say 48 hours instead of 2 days? Is that what you're saying?
Well, 2 days or 48 hours, either or.
2 days in special meetings was that. Section.
But under the notice of meetings, it's not stated.
It says the secretary shall send to all members at least 2 days in advance of a special meeting a written notice fixing the time and place of the meeting.
But then under section 4, notice of meetings,
Yes, but the notice of meetings, I mean, it always is stating what needs to happen in special meetings. And then notice of meetings is just what needs to be noticed. The secretary, who's noticing? The secretary, and the notice shall state the date, time, and place. The requirement for 2 days is already mentioned in section 3. There's no need to include it in section 4 because it's literally already there.
I just felt that it should be mentioned again.
Okay.
Section 7 on page 67, just a little bit of wording difference. A majority of the members of the Planning and Zoning Board shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business and the taking of official action. Maybe it should be stated a little bit different, but that's just like a majority of the members of the Planning and Zoning Board shall constitute a quorum. A quorum must be present before any business or official action takes place. Just to me. So, like I said, I'm not a word person, so just some ideas.
Any other comments from the council on the bylaws? Any comments from the public on the bylaws? Seeing none, Janelle, would you please take the vote?
Councilmember Bragg?
Aye.
Councilmember Barker?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown?
No.
And Councilmember Smith?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-1. Thank you. Moving on to item number D, discussion decision, medical director agreement between Marcus Daly with the council permission. Jeff?
Okay, I don't know if it's in your packet or not, the agreement. You have a copy of the agreement in front of you with Bitter Health Marcus Daly. You do? Okay, great. So you have, what it is this is just an agreement between the fire department and the district with Bitterroot Health, Marcus Daly, for Bitterroot Health to provide a doctor to be or medical director for the QRU for our license. And as you read down through there, it does talk about the responsibilities of the hospital or the doctor, the medical director, and the QRU. Basically, what it is this individual, this doctor, will become the oversight for our QRU and our licensure. So it will be his malpractice insurance that covers all of our EMTs. Okay, so we'll be working essentially under his license as a licensed EMT. We work under that, our medical director's license as well. And since Marcus Daly, or Bitterroot Health, since Bitterroot Health pays the insurance for the doctor, they want to have an agreement between us and them that we will participate back. And this is at no cost to us for them to be our medical director. This individual is the medical director for the majority of the QRUs in the valley. So what that does is it also brings consistency among the different QRUs and up and down the valley. We're all working under the same medical direction. We all will have the same rules to go by. Yes, we do follow the state guidelines and rules, but we also do have some exemptions that are granted by the medical director. So an example is currently an iGel intubation tube is not within the scope of practice for a EMT basic. However, the medical director has said, I want my EMT basics to be able to insert and do an iGel insertion if the need were to arise. So they can do that and put these special terms into the policy as to the scope of practice for the EMTs up and down the valley. So this is the individual that we would like to work with. We've been working with Dr. Nancy Tramo at a community medical center, and she is no longer willing to take on the role as a medical director. She's just got other things and working on and wanting to do, and that's not one of them. So we went out and we looked for medical direction, and we thought this would be our best fit, largely because it does bring continuity and consistency among all the different QRUs within the valley going forward. So, and he's young, eager, and willing and wanting to go this way, so we'd like to welcome. The piece of this is we do have to have a medical director license until you renew our licensure, which is coming due at the end of the month or the first of the year when it's due. So we do need to get this signed and in place so that he can sign off on it as well and get it back to the state in time so we don't lapse on our license agreement. So that's why it's in front of you tonight, is so that we can get approval to have the mayor sign the agreement and then move forward with this.
Thanks, Jeff. So with that, could I get a motion from the council? Councilmember Smith.
I move the council consider medical director agreement between Marcus Daly Corporation doing business as Bitterroot Health and the Stevensville Fire Department.
We have a motion by Councilmember Smith. Do we have a second? Councilmember Blunt.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion. We have a second by Councilmember Barker. Do we have a discussion from the council on the agreement? Councilmember Barker.
Who was the doctor that you'd be working underneath? What was his name again?
That's a great question. I don't think it's on the contract.
It is not.
Yeah, I don't have his name in front of me.
none, do we have any comments from the public? Seeing none, Janelle, would you please take the vote?
Councilmember Bragg?
Aye.
Councilmember Barker?
Aye.
Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
And Councilmember Smith?
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you.
Thank
Moving
you.
on to the last item. Discussion decision, resolution 576, a resolution of the Stephenville Town Council declaring certain town property as sold. As Jeff mentioned earlier, this want to surplus out the old ladder truck. There's a couple vehicles there that Steve wanted to also see if we can get any money out. They're not worth much, but anything's better than nothing. So with that, can I get a motion, please? Councilmember Barker.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 576, a resolution of the Stevensville Town Council declaring certain town property as sold.
We have a motion by Councilmember Barker, do we have a second? Councilmember Bragg.
I second.
We have a motion, we have a second by Councilmember Bragg, do we have a discussion from the council? Councilmember Smith.
Okay, the way this resolution is titled is kind of deceptive. It says declaring certain town property as sold. Now, when you read into it, you can see that this is going to go up for sale. But what I've done is I've gone back to our last time we had done this back in March of 2024. And the way it was done in that resolution, it states that it's going to be surplus and authorized for its disposal. And then it also tells us how to do it. It has to be by bid and that type of thing. And I think we'd be better off going that direction than how it was written up this time. So I have both here if anyone wants to see it.
How would you like to proceed with that? Would you like to just have her put the changes?
Personally, I'd like to have the changes put in as we did back in March.
Right, but would you like to have those changes and then with those changes have it approved, or would you like to have
We
them
can
do
do
it and
that,
then bring
sure.
it back?
Okay, now I can read them in and then we can do the changes and do it that
And
way.
then she can do the changes, then she can get it in paper and get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the two paragraphs, it would say, now therefore be it resolved by this town council that if any property is sold to another county or political subdivision, bids will be taken pursuant to 754307 MCA. And be it further resolved that if any property is sold or transferred to a county or political subdivision, the sale or transfer shall be subject to provisions of section 78101 MCA. And you also have to have declared, that has to be done by bid. Where was that now? Donate lease to sell bid. All right. We need to put in there that it has to be put out to bid. And then I have to ask for this, are we gonna do or start with a minimum bid?
That's always established when they go up for, excuse me. So I'll go back to the 20 resolution. I'll pull out that same language and I'll put it into this one on that now therefore be it resolved. Then when you guys approve this, then I will get with the department heads, the two that have added things to this one, get the best time they're ready to put those out. They'll go into the newspaper and then there will be starting bids that will be labeled at that time. Yes.
Very good. Okay, then, should I amend my motion then?
I would like to withdraw my motion because I was the original on the motion.
Okay, then I'll start again. Okay,
Go ahead.
I'd like to move that we approve resolution 576. Resolution of Stevensville Town Council declaring certain town property as sold with the additions and corrections that were just stated.
We have a motion by Councilmember Smith, do we have a second? Councilmember
I'll
Barker.
second the motion.
We have a motion, we have a second by Councilmember Barker, do we have further discussion from the council? Seeing none, do we have any discussion from the public? Seeing none, Janelle, would you please take the vote?
Councilmember Bragg.
Aye.
Councilmember Barker.
Aye.
Councilmember Brown.
Aye.
And Councilmember Smith.
Motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Board reports. Councilmember Porter?
Last night, the planning and zoning board met with the finalization of the growth policy. And then some of the corrections that were made were also approved. That will be coming forth at a special town council meeting on the 18th for final approval from the council. We did have 3 people there last night, again, that did state what corrections they would like to see in that growth policy. We've worked very hard on that to get where we're at right now. We've had several different opportunities that the public has actually been able to weigh in on that. So we just hope that on the 18th, we can have some blessings and be able to finalize that growth policy.
Is that it? Okay. More board reports, we'll move on to council comments. None? See none? Okay, executive report. Don't have much. Swearing in for incoming Mayor Cruz will be on the 30th at 11:15 p.m. here at Town Hall with Judge O'Connor.
Sir, 31st.
31st? Okay. Okay, at 11:15?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and other than that, you've probably already heard I'm retiring from public service. Done. And it's been quite a ride. 10 years is a lifetime in local government. And I want to thank the staff who've worked very hard, who put up with me. Public Works, I want to thank them. I want to thank the police department. I want to thank Jeff, fire department. I want to thank all the board members, planning and zoning, the airport board, park board, all the members there through the years. And I want to thank the council for letting me sit here and run the meetings. And I want to thank my wife, Dawn. She's the rock. And she's the one for the last 10 years I had to listen to everything. She gave me the advice. She told me to stay. She told me to go. But she always left it to me. And she is, to me, is a true rock. And that's my executive report. Thank you. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
There's another dock, possibly,